On this episode, we review our trip to the 2022 Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. Today is March 8th, 2022, and this is episode 441 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. And then if you hit that subscribe button, you will get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. So we have an awesome event coming up in April called the Main Street 16 Challenge, and it's going to benefit Give Kids the World. If you head to mainstreet16.com, you can learn more about our weekend scavenger hunt and ride challenge. But even more importantly, I want to give a huge shout out to both Vacation Grocery Delivery and Mouse Dining, who are going to be our platinum sponsors.
Ooh.
You can get groceries delivered right to your resort, your hotel, or your house or whatever Airbnb that you're staying at. These are from previous cast members. Jessica and her team are absolutely incredible. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking for those really hard to find dining reservations, you can check out Mouse Dining.
Yes.
You basically enter your information. They are going to send you an alert when that reservation becomes available so you can go ahead and snag it. Mm-hmm. You can find out about both of them at msmfriends.com. So we're going to talk all about the Flower and Garden Festival today. We were there day number 2 last Thursday.
And I'm going to go ahead and give a apologetic. I did not get the shrimp and grits. I know
you're going right off the bat with
because
that one.
I'm going to apologize and say that I did not get it this time, but it does run from March 2nd to July 4th of this year. And with that being said, we are going back multiple times, and I will be getting it.
Yes.
I promise you.
Yes, we had literal requests to get it. And the only reason we ended up not getting it is that we tried a lot of stuff, and it just didn't work out.
Apparently, we went the opposite way, right?
It was weird this year. So we started, for the most part, in Mexico. We kind of worked backwards. Mm-hmm. But let's first talk a little bit about, Flower and Garden in general. You were looking at 23 topiary areas. Mm-hmm. You were looking at 22 different gardens.
Wow.
What do you think about the topiaries, the gardens? What are sometimes some of your favorites?
I absolutely love them. Tinkerbell, of course, is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Frozen, Beauty and the Beast. I mean, there's so many. I love them all, and I love how they're amazing in the way they look and the way they can add colors to it, and of course the gardens. I mean, it's just a beautiful time of year. It is just gorgeous all around Epcot.
Yeah, and the weather's been really good.
Yes, it has.
And of course, this is going to run into July, so it's going to get really, really hot. But yeah, when we say 23 topiary areas, that's not individual topiaries, because you have things like both Anna and Elsa. You have both, Kermit and Miss Piggy. You have both Peter Pan, Captain Hook. So then, what I think is my absolute favorite is Tick-Tock Croc.
I think
that's my
pretty cool.
absolute favorite topiary.
Yeah,
it's very grand, and it is made to look as though he is in a garden of water, because you have not only his upper half coming out, mouth open and all, but you have his tail coming through behind you. And all of these are just so good. I'm going to say off the bat, and maybe, you tell me what you think. I think Festival of the Arts overall is one of the best by both art and food. Where I
Festival
think this
of the
one,
Art, said? Yeah.
Where I think, and we're just coming off of that, right? So where I think this one shines, Flower and Garden, is in the beauty of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to talk about the food, which I think may take a little bit of a back seat overall to the beauty of this festival.
Yeah. I unfortunately, spoiler alert, agree.
Yeah. But like when you think of all those flowers around the
Oh.
water and there's a
It's
50
just-
emblem
It's
and
just gorgeous.
it's
And
amazing.
I mean, but I'm a very outside flower person. I love plants and
Yeah.
love stuff. I don't do very well with them,
No, we can't keep any alive, but we like
try,
to look at them. Yeah.
and we like to look at them.
We need low maintenance.
And that I can do, and I do pretty good. I have a plumeria plant that I've done very well with over the past few years.
That is true.
But it stays in a pot.
Yeah,
why.
and I think
Maybe
those
that's
are
why.
I think those are pretty easy to keep alive. Speaking of keeping things alive, we'll just throw it out there for maybe anybody who isn't on some of our social media. What did we get today?
Well, our oldest daughter is 14, and she has been wanting a rat for a while.
A rat.
A rat.
A rat. Just so people
A
like
real
a rat. The
like-
rodent, a rat.
Yes. Like Remy, like
Yep, right.
Bruno's rats.
Yes.
Like you're thinking and picturing, yes, this is what she wanted. Our really good friend Christina has had one, and she had an amazing experience with it. And that is the only reason I ever toyed around with allowing her to get one. So we start talking to her today, and long story short, we went to Petco, and Kaylin, well, I would say Kaylin picked out a rat, but honestly, we think the rat picked Jeremy out.
The rat picked me out.
So
it was funny because we were talking about this, and it's a rat. So I've been a little hesitant, but Kaylin is such a wonderful and sweet child, and we always want to encourage and support our children in whatever they may do, down to the fact that Kaylin was very interested in piercing, and we got her a piercing set for her birthday, and she has pierced Rhonda's ears twice now. Right?
Technically 3 times.
Technically 3 times.
Yep.
And so we want to support that. And so we thought, you know what, if this is something, and she had researched it and she had looked it up and she was starting to learn about it, we're like, let's go ahead and let's go check it out. So in that, I had a cat. Well, we had a cat a long time ago, over a decade ago, named Duke. And I'll never forget, was it New Year's Eve? And I remember I'd moved down here. We were living in our condo. We were pretty newly married. And one morning, for whatever reason, on New Year's Eve, you woke up and you were like, we can get a cat. I was like, what? We can? Let's go. So we went to PetSmart to look for a cat, and I will never forget walking in to all these different cats in their little cages, and one of them just looked at me and put his paws up on the door, and I was like, that's our cat. And so we named him Duke. He unfortunately passed away at a very young age from a very rare cat disease.
Yep.
But anyway, we were literally talking, and I was like, we're only going to get a rat if we walk in there and that rat picks out us.
And I said that. I told Kaylin, I was like, let's be prepared because, and then Jeremy went and looked.
I go in, so there's 4 rats in this one little aquarium cage thing. And I'm just looking at them, and one comes out, and I just set my finger on the glass, and she immediately got on her hind legs and put her paws, I guess, her front paws and face against my finger. And I was like, all right, we're getting a rat. This is it. We are now rat owners.
Yep.
So little Cleo is now a part of the family. And while that is not a Disney reference, it is actually a DC Comics reference. Cleo is the name of Ratcatcher 2 from the Suicide Squad. And so that is what little Cleo is named after. But I just
she's
wanted
super
to bring
cute.
that up.
She's
She is
little,
adorable,
and she's black and white.
Yep.
And Kaylin is super happy. We think she is pretty young.
Yeah.
So, which is good. It is hard to tell. But
they don't live a long time.
They do not.
Bucky did introduce himself to her. He sniffed the cage, but she will stay in her cage behind a closed door in Kaylin's room.
Yeah.
Because I do not need a middle of the night cat and rat fight, which doesn't sound fun.
No.
So back to Flower and Garden. I just had to bring that up. Let's talk about Spike's Pollination Exploration. This is the springtime scavenger hunt for gardeners of all ages. This is $9.99 plus tax. Go ahead and shed some light currently, Rhonda, on the situation with Spike's pollination exploration.
Okay. When we were there, we of course looked for the prizes, and they do not have them in yet. But if you missed out and you wanted the Olaf plates from, the Festival of the Arts.
No, Festival of the Holidays.
Festival of the Holidays. They are there. I know a lot of people were very upset about that. So that right now, until they come in, that is what you are getting as a prize.
Yeah.
So
this is, I gotta say, this is really, and I understand that we're still having issues with supply chains, whatever's going on, but this is super disappointing, I think, unfortunately. I'm so glad that
it is, but I'm happy for other people that maybe missed out and wanted those and didn't get them.
For sure. So you can totally get those if you're going and they're not there yet. I just, order right now for food and wine or whatever it takes, right? Some people, I have seen some rumors. It appears that the prize will eventually be a selection of small lunch boxes, which would be freaking awesome. And I just think it would be cool. I don't know what I will do with it.
What are you going to do with it?
You know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to display it somewhere in this office if I can find shelf space. Yeah, I wish that they had them. Some other rumors have been going around that because of the initial delay in the Olaf plates coming in, that they had an overabundance and they're just trying to get rid of those first. I hope that's not the case, but I am glad that it seems to be a little bit more upfront about it this time.
Yeah.
The Olaf plates are literally out in the open displayed like, here's your prize.
Yep.
Whereas I know some people, our friend Shannon, felt a little duped. Her son Ryder was very upset that when he did the Festival of the Holidays one, that he had to pick from these rando, type of prizes.
Right.
And then once she saw the actual plate, she was like, oh, wow. So anyway, we just want to put that out there. Of course, this episode is coming out, 5-6 days after the opening of the festival. We're not sure when they're coming in. We will certainly try and keep that updated on social media in our Facebook community. Mm-hmm. But I know a lot of people that are going this week are probably hoping for them. And it's easy for us because we'll just go back at some point between now and July 4th and get them.
Oh, 100%.
But for people that are only coming once this year,
right?
It hurts my heart that they may not get the true prize.
Yeah.
And if anything, I think Disney should offer a rain check and mail it to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right? Because that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
As adorable as those little Olaf plates are, that's not necessarily what you're going for at Flower and Garden, right?
Yeah. I can understand that.
Let's talk some merch, because as underwhelmed as I was with the Festival of the Arts merch, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
They had plenty of it. It just personally wasn't for me. This stuff is just...
There's so much.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, there's just so much. I mean, you've literally got a section of Spike. You've literally got a section of Orange Bird. You've literally got a section of I think Minnie and Mickey and then gardening. And I mean, there's probably a handful of different merch. What would you put them under? Categories.
Yeah, categories. Oh, for sure.
It's crazy, to be honest. I mean, I was shocked how much. I was like, oh, look, there's Spike. And then I thought, oh, there's only that much. And then I was like, oh, no, wait. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Super cool.
There's so much good stuff.
Yep.
And the designs are wonderful. And we've got, everything. We picked up a pitcher, a ceramic pitcher that is Flower and Garden themed. And again, it's all these
I think it says grow
beautiful
happiness.
Spring,
super cute,
and pastel colors. Yep. And we're actually using it as a spoon holder.
Yes.
Or utensil holder.
Yes,
we got rid of one that we've had probably since we got married.
I think so. It was a wine one because we had our kitchen with wine, and literally slowly but surely everything in our house is becoming Disney.
It really is.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So we have another one that utensils are held in. That is the pass holder figment one.
Yeah, from Food and Wine several years ago.
Was it?
No. Was it? Yeah, I think it actually was Food and Wine. Although Figment's not normally the Food and Wine one.
Yeah, so
it might have been from a Festival of the Arts. Gosh, now I got to look at it.
Yeah, you got to.
But it's a glass pitcher.
Yes, it is.
There's so much wonderful clothing. They have an Orange Bird Spirit jersey. They have an awesome button-up short sleeve that I will probably pick up. Salt and pepper shakers.
Now, no.
Talk about those.
They have shakers. Because
Good
a
point.
salt and pepper shaker usually has more holes for, I believe, pepper and less holes for salt.
No, I think it's opposite.
Are you sure? Because
unless I've been doing it wrong all these years.
Maybe y'all can tell us. But anyways, these shakers are super cute. You have an orange bird one and you have a spike one. And it is a trash can.
Yes.
And it has the same amount of holes on top on both.
Yeah.
So we got each one. And because Spike is a darker, and even Kaylin kind of pointed that out, because it's a little darker and it kind of looks peppery, I guess. We put the pepper in him and then the salt in the orange bird. And they are now sitting on our table. And then we have, now these are not Flower and Garden, but Jeremy, when he cooks, we do a lot of cracked and salt pepper, and they have a cute in the home collection. I love that home collection too. They're adding so much more to this home collection, which is good and bad because I want to buy it all.
Right.
But is the salt and pepper shaker of that, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And I had to get a second one because they are ceramic top. Is that the right word?
Yeah, it's a ceramic top and the rest is wood.
Right.
So the part you turn is ceramic.
Yes. Beautiful. But if you're using them for like your table or whatever, and if it does fall over, and especially on our countertops, that is granite or whatever it's called, it did
It's going to break.
And break.
Yeah, it's going to break. Yeah, the pepper one fell over. It broke. We were able to super glue it back together.
Did that one, actually.
The second one was straight up lacy.
It was straight up lacy. And she got so upset because she thought we were mad at her. And I'm like, no, but I'm upset. I like these. Yeah. So just bought a new one. And now I'm like, all right, look, this is your salt and pepper, the Spike and the Orange Bird.
Yep. All right, next, let's talk about how you can get in the groove with the Garden Rocks concert series.
Let's do it.
Which I am so excited is back. So this year, basically, the national or recognized bands, I want to call them, are currently Friday through Monday.
Okay.
And then they're bringing in local bands Tuesday through Thursday.
Okay.
Which I think is wonderful. I love the fact that they're highlighting local bands.
Yeah.
This year is very much a mix of everything we missed from the past 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
Well, what it used to be is Flower and Garden used to focus much more on what I felt was like 70s, 80s.
Okay.
And Food and Wine was more like 90s into 2000s.
Okay.
This is a combination of both, where you're getting everything from the Guess Who to Rick Springfield. You're getting Cool in the Gang, which is new this year.
Wow.
You're getting the Pointer Sisters, but then you're also going to throw in, actually, if I'm being honest, looking at this is pretty normal for Flower and Garden in the past.
Yeah.
But what they're throwing in this year, which we were so excited about, because we didn't know if they were coming back, and maybe this is a complete scheduling issue as far as Food and Wine comes. Blue October is back at Epcot.
Yes. Do we already have plans, Jeremy?
We already have plans. They are there April 8th and 9th. It is a Friday and Saturday.
And what else do we have with this, Jeremy?
We will be there Saturday on April 9th to check out Blue October. And you know how I know that we're going to 100% have a seat and see them?
That's what I was hinting at.
Because we went ahead and booked a dining package.
And where did we book that, Jeremy?
All right, so the dining packages are available at Beer Garden, Coral Reef, Garden Grill, and Rose and Crown. We went ahead and booked Rose and Crown.
Yes.
So here's the deal with the dining package. You can choose from these 4 different restaurants at Epcot, and each package includes, this would be lunch or dinner, includes an appetizer, an entree, and dessert, or one full buffet as such a place like Beer Garden.
Correct.
And this is per person. Plus, you get 1 guaranteed seat per person to one of the Garden Rocks concerts. depending on when your dining is
Correct.
and what's available is dependent on which seating you get.
Right.
They have a 5 o'clock, a 6:45, and an 8 p.m.
And what time did we get dinner?
We got dinner at 4:40 p.m.
Yep.
So we will be attending for sure the 8 p.m. concert.
Correct.
We're also going to try and attend the 6:45 p.m. concert.
On standby.
Because last time we saw Blue October, we did 2 shows out of 3, and the sets were very different.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say,
and even if the sets were the same, Jeremy, we love Blue October so much that we would be fine to watch both of them.
I'm telling y'all, Blue October is one of the most underrated bands in the history of bands, I think. They are so super talented. They're so good. Justin is a very emotional, wears
super
his
good.
heart on his sleeve, lead singer and frontman, and you will be absolutely moved going to this concert. And what was so cool is the last time we went to this at Epcot is seeing the fandom that comes out and follows them, to somewhere like this. And we saw them at House of Blues back in October, and we talked about that on an episode. Honestly, I prefer this setting than House of Blues. It feels actually more intimate.
Yep.
Because I know last time he came out into the crowd, he was taking selfies with people in the middle of songs and high-fiving people. And I hope that's, there's an ability for him to do that again with everything that's going on.
I hope he feels comfortable.
Correct.
Because, Disney has lowered and no masks anywhere except transportation, so you are getting to see the cast members' faces again, and then some of them are still wearing them, and then that's so so we're gonna do this, so I'm super excited about this. We are doing Rose and Crown, and the reason we picked that is because honestly we have not done Rose and Crown since we sat down.
Golly, 3.5 years
for
golly.
You did.
We said that 3.5 years ago. And we did the Illuminations
dining package. Yes. So with
it was wonderful.
It was. And so with that being said, we're super excited to get back. We may or may not try different things because that was so long ago. I know that we could eat whatever we want and talk to y'all about it. So yeah. And if there's anything y'all are like, ooh, I think you should try this.
Let us know, and we'll select that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So,
so just for quick pricing, and this does not include tax and gratuity, and you actually reserve with a credit card, which holds it, but you pay once you get there.
Correct.
This has changed.
Yes.
Because it used to be
where you paid up front, correct?
It used to be that you had to pay in full up front.
I think it's changed because I think you would actually be allowed to say you don't want to go to the show, like my friend Erica did, my client that she was supposed to go to the Aladdin. She just wanted to eat at Beer Garden. They did. They declined it, and I think they took to maybe $10 off their meal.
Yeah.
So
from going to the show. So I do think that is probably what changed, and they realized, hey, we can do whatever. But
correct.
If you do Beer Garden, ages 10 and up is going to be $57 per person. Child is $32. Coral Reef is going to be $69 per person for adults. A child of $22. That is a vast difference. That is a weird.
That's
thing,
weird because you have 57 at Beer Garden and then 32 for the child.
Buffet.
Yeah.
So the kid could still eat a lot. Garden Grill, $66 for adults, $43 per child, and then Rose and Crown is $58 per adults and $22 per child.
Okay, and then Rose and Crown and Coral Reef are actual where you just pick dinners. Yep. The Garden Grill and the other two are buffets.
Well, you got a buffet and a family style.
Okay.
So I think that's the difference in some of the pricing. I agree. Because the kid could still eat a lot more.
I agree.
As opposed to just ordering each one. All right. What does everybody want to hear about, Rhonda?
The food, of course.
Food. Rhonda did not get shrimp and grits.
I already said that.
I know. But we're going to go through the rest of the menu and what we did try. We still tried a lot.
We did.
We will do a secondary update episode.
How many did we total try? Because I thought
it ended up being, I think it was up to 18 or 19 overall dishes? Food and drink. That included drink. And we didn't do a ton of drink. A lot of it was food.
Okay.
Well over probably 13, 14 food items if anybody wants to start like a count or start like a bingo board or something. Like, what did they have?
All right.
Let's start we're just going to go through alphabetically. We're going to start in Bauer Market, which is Germany. That's the farmer's market. So Garden Graze is there.
Yeah, and we didn't finish it, did we?
No, we have one more to get, but I have the book right in front of me here.
Okay.
So the Garden Graze menu items include the corn on the cob from Flavorful Kitchen, the coconut tres leches from La Isla Fresca, potato pancakes from Bauer Market, grilled baby vegetables from Trowel and Trellis, as well as the avocado toast is the only one we did not complete from Epcot's Sunshine Griddle. You get a completer surprise at Pineapple Promenade, which appeared to be a Dole Whip style beverage.
It was super cute.
Inside of like a keepsake plastic wine glass.
Yeah.
As always, technically you would do these 5 different items, but you could actually go get 5 corn on the cobs and they will stamp 5 things for you.
Okay.
So here at Bauer Market, we went and we saw the wonderful cast member Yo-Yo.
Yes.
And we were like, so potato pancakes with house-made applesauce. That's the Garden Graze, right? And Rhonda's like, that sounds a little weird. Like, I don't know if, like, we didn't really want, like,
well, I think
homemade
we
applesauce.
I actually think we said potato pancakes. And then he was like, which one? And I said, oh, and we have to do the Garden Graze one, which is the house-made applesauce. And I said, don't we? And he kind of looked like, meh.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, can we do? Because the potato pancake with caramelized ham, onions, and herb sour cream sounded amazing. I love potato pancakes. I love them when they just have the potato pancake and then the herb sour cream and that's it.
Yeah.
So again, this is $5. It's actually more expensive. It's 25 cents more expensive than the homemade applesauce. So he gave us a stamp and we picked this one. I was super excited.
What'd you think of it?
Super excited even after I saw the house-made applesauce. I mean, it just was a ton on top of it.
Yeah, it really was.
Like a big old like ice cream scoop. And I was like, I like applesauce, but I just thought that, So this one though, the potato cake with the caramelized ham, onions, the onions were very caramelized. The ham was actually more crispy. I liked it actually. Jeremy, I don't think you did as much. I really liked the combination of it.
Here's what I'm going to throw out there.
Oh Lord, here we go.
I think it's hard to come off Festival of the Arts where every dish is so meticulously prepared and beautiful. Outside of the desserts, these are just throwing food into a cardboard boat bowl. I think. I'm not saying that they're not still trying to prepare it and whatever. It just is the beauty.
They're not pretty.
They're not Instagram worthy. A lot of them.
Well,
some of them taste good, and a lot of them look like, I'm gonna throw it out now because it's gonna come up, and Rhonda's gonna roll her eyes. This whole episode is so many of them look like they have cat vomit involved in the dish. I'm going to be able to count, I think, 3 of them. This is one of them. Yeah. This is not an appetizing.
It's not pretty.
Dish.
It's not. It's not appetizing.
All.
But I thought it was very good. I really enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. I the only thing I would change.
You have more of a texture situation.
Yeah, I think the ham was the cubes literally were like a quarter of an inch, and I would have liked a nice, more chunky, like half an inch or so cubed ham with that crispy exterior.
I'll agree.
But I thought all the flavors worked together very, very well.
Yes.
I do think that as much as I loved the ham, the onion, and the herb sour cream, I think the potato pancake got a little bit lost. Because of the fact that there was so much of the other topping.
There was. But see, that's exactly what I would feel like with the house-made applesauce. There was so much applesauce on top of it.
That would
and
be
my mommy has made homemade applesauce, and it is phenomenal. And part of me would have liked to have tasted it, but again, there was just so much on it.
I just feel like companies are making applesauce and they're doing okay. They're making good applesauce. I don't know that it's one thing we need to make at home. I think of like...
what do you mean? Like my mommy?
No, I think that's wonderful that she makes it. I don't think I think it's one of the items that I really enjoy the store-bought version. I don't know that it needs to be homemade. Like ketchup. I just think of National Lampoon's Vacation. He's like, real tomato ketchup, Eddie? Like, we don't need to make ketchup at home. I think Heinz is doing okay, right?
Okay.
Like, they're doing a good job?
Yeah, but when you get, my mommy's older and she's just trying to.
I don't think I've tried actually her homemade applesauce. I know she brought a bunch.
So
the kids
good.
loved it. The kids
It's so
absolutely
good.
loved it.
But she's
cinnamon,
trying
though,
to
right?
keep.
You got to have applesauce with cinnamon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's trying to keep all the preservatives and everything out of it. So
And that
I
is
get
a really
it.
good point.
I get it.
That's a good point to keep it in that wheelhouse of the healthier, no preservative, no whatever. Because I can go to the store and buy applesauce. It can sit on my shelf for like 8 years.
Yep.
And
Ew,
I can
not
still
that
eat
long,
it,
but okay.
probably. So I'm okay. I should not eat that
No.
applesauce that we
Go
have.
ahead.
All right, let's
move on.
Oh, shoot. I don't like the order that these are in because I don't want to start off.
But
Maybe
at least
it's better
we're
we start off with a negative
we're
tone.
getting off all these.
All right, we're going to go to Cider House, who for some reason decided on a new dish this year. This is in the United Kingdom. It's a BLT scone with Newski's applewood smoked bacon, sun-dried tomato, and basil for $5. This is going to also fall under the cat vomit-looking umbrella.
Yeah, because the bacon.
Explain
smoke-
this dish, Rhonda, if you can. I don't even know how to explain it. And if you go and you were a member of Wonderland Crew, when we live streamed this, we were with our good friend Kiyomi Kiki, and her reaction to it was so wonderful.
It was.
And
It was
this was
amazing.
the only dish that we threw portions away.
Oh, yeah.
What was up with this thing?
So, and y'all know me, I can always try to find something good about it.
Yeah. Not this
I
time.
could not. I could barely swallow it. I'm not going to lie to y'all at all. It was god awful. So please save your $5 and maybe save 50 cents and maybe try the dark chocolate raspberry tart. We did not.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that was probably better. So it's a scone. I get it. A scone is supposed to be dry anyways. A scone is supposed to be sweet. So there was actual like a bigger
Crystallized sugar.
I just tried to say a bigger chunk of sugar on top. So yeah, crystallized sugar. The applewood smoked bacon was what, and sun-dried tomato was the just scoop of what Jeremy said that looked like cat vomit. And then you had a little piece of basil that we each took a bite. So we took a bite of the scone, we took a piece of the basil, and then we took a bite of the little tomato bacon stuff. First of all, the tomato bacon stuff was not, this is going to sound gross, but wet enough to help with the dry scone. Like I said, I'm sorry. I have nothing good to say about this at all.
Wow. I don't either. This was awful.
It was awful.
We all gagged trying to eat this dish.
It was awful. I was shocked. I was sad. I was super sad.
I was too.
It sounds
I like the
amazing.
Concept.
It does.
Really
Yes.
like the concept. Let's move on. We did not dine at the Citrus Blossom this time, but in the past, we have had the tuna tataki bowl with spicy yuzu glaze, a mango avocado, and a papadam crisp. This is very, very good.
Oh, yeah.
What I want to do when we go back is do the brand new crispy mojo marinated pork belly. This comes with an avocado cream, corn salsa, salsa verde, and plantain chips. I will take plantain chips anytime I can get them.
Absolutely.
We'll next move on to Epcot Farmer's Feast. We did not have a chance to try, but again, we'll go back.
Yep.
What I love that they're doing here is that they're actually doing several menus based on the season. So they're doing an early bloom menu, which is available March 2nd to April 9th, a springtime menu available April 10th to May 21st, and they're doing a summer solstice menu, which is available May 22nd through July 4th. So we will make sure that we go back and check that out.
Perfect.
We're batting zero right now because we're going to move on to the Sunshine Griddle, which we did not try this time.
This is where the avocado toast is. That is the garden graze that we have to get.
Yep.
And your shrimp and grits, which I have to go back and get. This is blackened shrimp and cheddar cheese grits with brown gravy and a sweet corn salsa. Now this is $7.25, but hopefully the shrimp are bigger than Boathouse. So
See, you went there. I didn't even go. I wasn't even going there, Rhonda. All right, let's move into Flavorful Kitchen, hosted by Advent Health. We did the grilled street corn on the cob with a savory garlic spread. This is gluten, wheat-friendly, as well as plant-based. This is part of the Garden Graze for $5.75. Throw out your thoughts there. It's a $5.75
it's an ear of corn.
piece of corn.
And unfortunately, it was on the drier side as well. Even Kiki said it looked like it needed, I don't know if it's called the salsa verde, not the salsa verde, but the
savory garlic spread.
Was
not
whatever.
plentiful.
I mean, and then like a lot of times, don't they do like street corn? They put mayonnaise on it, or what is it? Like it needed to be again more wet.
It was less than moist.
It was.
Let's say that.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was good corn. The flavors were good. The taste and the crunch that was on top was good. But
you're just paying $5.75 for an ear of corn.
Yeah.
Now, I love the presentation.
Yep.
I love
Super
the fact
cool.
that they're grilling it right in front of you.
Yep.
I think it's worth your Garden Graze stamp.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Let's just say that.
And
again, I don't want to knock it. It's just hard to say
and
justify that amount of money
second
for
day,
corn.
And a lot of times we have gone back and they have gotten them kind of right, or it's maybe they were running out of the spread and they couldn't slather it, and then maybe another day they have so much that they can just slather it on. So I mean, there's just different things. So you could go and you could have a great piece of corn.
Yeah.
So
and what I loved about this is that they were literally there. It's like grilled to order.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A lot of these dishes,
Just
and
like
we're going to talk about something else in a minute, which was wonderful. But I appreciate the showmanship and having those open wood-fired charcoal, whatever grills, that they're literally grilling it to order.
I agree.
So, and it has that wonderful char flavor. It tastes like something that we would cook on our grill out back. You
100%.
know? All right, let's move on to Fleur de Lis over in France. And we got the croissant au fromage de chèvre, herbe el atit rôti. Is that good?
Yep,
this is a croissant
good.
with goat cheese, herbs, and roasted garlic. This is new this year for $6.75. We also got the beignet caramelise, fior crème vanille glacial caramel de sal. This is a caramelized beignet filled with vanilla cream and glazed with caramel fleur de sel for $5.75. Rhonda, start us off.
We also got a beverage.
Cheese. Oh, we did. Oh, I'm so sorry. We also got the La Vie en Rose frozen slush, which is vodka, orange vodka, and liqueur with white and red cranberry juice for $13.50. Run us through on your thoughts of these three different items.
This was probably my favorite booth.
Oh,
possibly.
Okay. Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
The drink
Not
is
phenomenal?
always amazing. I mean, it was
that's usually your go-to.
Freaking task.
There you go.
Phenomenal, whatever.
There we go.
It was amazing. All right, let me start out by saying I absolutely love goat cheese. Like, I am that weirdo. I feel like that could totally take and eat goat cheese off a spoon. Like, my mommy used to eat butter like that, apparently, I think. Like, she'd just spoon it and eat it.
You know that Kaylin eats salted butter, right?
Okay.
She makes a bowl of butter.
And then puts salt in
and
and
cracks
eats it?
salt on it and just eats that.
Okay. So we are a bunch of family
So she
weirdos.
also
Okay.
owns a rat
Cool.
now. So
Well,
let's put that together.
I love goat cheese. Love it. This croissant to me was phenomenal because it was packed. Jeremy didn't like it as much because there was so much goat cheese. But here's the great part about this croissant. When you would if you didn't pick it up with your hands and you would use your fork, it would squish out.
Yeah.
So then you could kind of pick and choose on how much goat cheese you want to have in your bite.
Yeah.
So I would say if you don't love goat cheese and you're like, but I like it, and you're like shying away, don't shy away from this. I think this is great. And then again, just like icing on a cake, you can scrape some off. You can take some out if you want. But this is so good. The croissant was crispy and fluffy.
Oh my goodness. It felt
was
fresh.
perfection.
It actually felt and tasted handmade and and baked. You know what I mean? Like freshly baked and handmade.
Yes.
It was outstanding. And yeah, I'm with you on the goat cheese. For me, the first bite, I had all the goat cheese and I was like, it was a little overpowering. But when I went in for secondary bites, I just didn't scoop up as much and it was perfect. So I like that on level. Now, if you don't like goat cheese,
if you don't like it at
don't
all,
want this. Yeah, you
I
definitely
wouldn't get this. There are 2 other things here, which is a French green lentil salad with bacon and garlic sausage. That's new. There's also
tuna and pois salad.
Yes, which is new as well. So absolutely, if you do not like goat cheese, I would say don't get it. And we didn't try these other 2 things, but still,
I really did love it overall, and I thought the portion was wonderful for the price.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about portions and pricing later.
Okay.
The beignet.
Oh,
okay. This.
Well, let me first by starting out and reminding everybody. I think that we discussed this on the podcast that we are now having a lifestyle of eating low fat, sugar, and carbs.
Yeah. And this is none of those.
Right. During the week and while we're here, because of course, and people tell me to do 80-20. 80% of the time, eat like that. 20% of the time, eat whatever you want. So 20% of the time, pretty much we're at Disney. So we're just going to eat whatever we want. So I was super, super excited about getting this. And so, this was so good.
What did I call it? I was explaining it.
So you called it between a cross between a Boston cream donut and creme brulee.
No, this was a Boston cream donut creme brulee beignet.
It was amazing.
It really is.
I mean, you didn't need that much. Kiki took a bite, you took a bite, and then y'all were so sweet to pretty much let me eat the rest. And boy, did I.
Yeah, you did.
It was amazing.
I mean, it really is. It's this
so good.
fluffy beignet mixture flavor of shaped donut. Mm-hmm. It is filled with vanilla cream, which gives you that sense of the Boston cream donut. Mm-hmm. But then it's topped with this crunchy, caramelized, crunchy sugar that gives you the creme brulee. This was so good. It is moving up. And what I like a lot is, and normally my favorite desserts at the festivals are the ones that I would consider light, because they're normally using citrus or something like that, or they're like a cream cheese, like a cheesecake. Like I feel like cheesecake feels light. I know it's very, very dense, but it feels light in flavor.
Right.
This is a punch in your face, sugary attack on your world. It's so freaking
I think,
good.
Unfortunately, this is the only dessert that we did get at the festival.
Yeah, I think it actually might be.
No. Oops, there's another one. Yep,
okay.
I remember now.
No spoiler alerts.
No spoiler. But we did not get a ton of dessert because we were trying to eat more of the actual food, like protein and all, whatever you call it, food. But
let's walk our way over to Hanami in Japan. Mm-hmm. We did first of all, their frushi is delicious. We did not get it this time. There it is: strawberry, pineapple, and cantaloupe wrapped in sweet rice and pink soy wrap, served with whipped cream, berry sauce, and toasted coconut for $7.
Yeah.
This is a really fun dish.
It is.
And kids really, really enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What we got was the chicken yakitori, which is grilled chicken with scallions, red pepper shozu emulsion, and pickled onions. This is new this year for $7.50. And we got the beef tataki, seared sirloin, with red shiso sauce, watermelon radish, and sprouts. This is also new for $8. Mm-hmm. In addition, we had the yuzu tilted tonic hard seltzer, which is new. 6 ounces will run you $5, and the cucumber cooler. Sake, vodka, and cucumber garnished with a cucumber slice. This is also new for $8.50. Okay. Let's start with the chicken, Rhonda.
Well, actually, I'm going to start with the beef because that's the only one I tried.
Oh, okay.
At this point in our night, it was dark, and I was pretty full, and we got all this stuff, and I only unfortunately tasted the beef, which was outstanding. It was cooked where again it's seared, so it's very medium rare basically.
Yeah.
And it wasn't melt in your mouth, but it was just so good.
It was cold.
It was.
Yeah.
It was just great. And the watermelon radish was weird, but it was like good with it.
Yeah.
Like it didn't remind me of watermelon, but it reminded me of a radish, if that makes sense.
It was much more in the radish family.
Yeah.
What I loved about
Super
this,
good.
honestly, it was such a refreshing. It reminded me very much of it was basically like take what you would do with tuna
Yeah.
and do it
Yep.
with beef.
Yep. I agree.
Right?
100%.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it was delicious.
Yeah.
I agree. It wasn't melt in your mouth in the sense, but it was so tender. And it was one of those like you almost barely had to chew.
Correct. I agree.
It was so good.
Tell us about the chicken.
Chicken yakitori was outstanding. I loved it. I thought
Good.
this booth knocked it out of the park. The cucumber cooler was very refreshing. And y'all know I don't like cucumbers in my drinks.
Right.
And I enjoyed this
Yep.
very, very much.
I did not taste it, which I'm sad about, but it looked pretty and it looked really cool.
The seltzer as well. What this entire menu is refreshing.
Yeah.
Like
Nice.
that's all. I think that's the perfect
that's what you want
overview.
from now until July.
Till July. You want
Absolutely.
refreshing.
So I will love to go back and get the cucumber cooler, to be truthfully honest.
Yeah. We'll do that
This is
next time.
also where I'm just going to throw this out
Oh
there.
my goodness.
That was really sad. This is also where I put my ears, which were the 50th light up ears, in my bag. And I don't know if they were pulled out and taken from me or if I literally dropped them and then they were just gone.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there had an extra pair somehow, I'll be happy to pay you for
These were the light up.
the
ears,
light up
the 50th light up ears.
the white
Yeah.
and gold.
Yep.
They were gorgeous.
I know. I'm so
So.
sorry. I felt so bad for you.
All right, moving on.
Let's move on to the Honey Bistro, hosted by the National Honey Board. And we went with, you know what? This is my booth.
Yep.
We went with the Tupelo honey and sweet corn spoon bread with jalapenos, bacon, and house-made whipped honey butter. This is gluten wheat friendly for $5. Wonderful, wonderful price. And we did the local wildflower honey mascarpone cheesecake with orange blossom, honey whipped cream, whipped honey, crystallized honey, honeycomb, dehydrated honey, and fennel pollen meringue kisses for $5. Plus the honey peach freeze, which comes in a souvenir Spike the Bee sipper cup.
Where
Limit
is
2
he?
per
Did you
guest
bring him in here?
for
Oh, there he is.
$15. This, oh my
So we've
goodness.
all right. Let me. We have had the cheesecake before, and we were like, "It's so good, we're doing it again." So this is the only second dessert that we ended up getting. Again, it was outstanding, perfect,
So refreshing.
so good.
So much honey.
I love all the honey. It's so good. So happy I took my Zyrtec before we came. This Tupelo honey and sweet corn bread with jalapenos. That was outstanding. I loved how the corn was actually thick in it. It wasn't.
It was whole kernels.
It was. It
Yeah.
wasn't. What do you call it? Emulsified or whatever. The bread was super moist on its own, I think, without the honey butter whipped topping on top of that. But it was a little warmer this day, so it just kind of melted pretty quick. But still, once it melted and you just ate it, it was fantastic. Now, I was very nervous about the honey peach freeze because I don't really like peach too much, and I like a peach to eat, but that's about it.
Yeah.
This was incredible. Like,
This is
I want another one.
This is the first time that we have ever gotten a souvenir sipper
and enjoy
that we've actually drank all of the liquid beverage inside of it. Because a lot of times they're very
The
orange,
Orange Bird,
citrusy.
that one's like
It was like a creamsicle.
I love that.
But it was like too much.
All right, I'll agree with that.
This was kind
This
of
one
light.
was
It was
an-
refreshing.
Yeah, this one wasn't enough. That you just.
Dude, this cornbread
Where is our Orange Bird? Because
is
I think
behind you.
we do need a new
I know we need the
one.
other one because the new one is a little bit different. This cornbread, y'all,
It was good.
we make cornbread.
Yeah, we
The
do.
girls love it. Kaylin specifically loves it.
Yep.
This is the best dang cornbread I've ever had in my life, and it makes me not want to make my own cornbread anymore unless I can figure this out because of the fact
Well, you might can.
of how fall apart and, again, dare I say, moist it was. If you are somebody that does not like spice, even though it has jalapenos, I didn't get spice from it.
I agree.
I did miss it a little bit,
yeah,
but it
'cause
gave
we
you
li-
that
but
jalapeno flavor.
We like spice. That's
Yes.
the reason why, I think.
Right. But it had the
So-
jalapeno flavor, which is delicious
Yep.
without the spice, which
Yep.
they've done a wonderful job of.
Mhm.
And the whole corn kernels, the balance of this tender, moist cake with whole crunch of kernels was so well done. I want to get this again. Little piece of bacon on top.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was. But
And yeah,
it was
that
Disney
honey
bacon.
butter. Well, it was a little under Disney. It was Pop Eats bacon. And this is in the same booth that Pop Eats is normally at. To me, it was the Pop Eats bacon, which I thought was
Just
undercooked.
very
I would
floppy.
like a much more Disney oven baked bacon on top,
Right.
but it doesn't matter. They didn't even need it. They didn't need the bacon. That's how good this
I
freaking
agree.
dish was.
I agree.
So this might be my favorite, honestly.
Your booth? Your favorite booth?
Until I
Okay.
get to the next one. All right, let's get into Jardín de Fiestas.
This is your
which is in
Mexico one.
Mexico. 3 brand new savory dishes.
But we only got one
We
because
did.
you were planning on going back.
Yeah.
We never did.
Which we didn't, but we really were starting when we first started the day to work around. We got 1 dish per booth because of the fact that we wanted to have the belly room to do many more, which is why when we got to like Hanami in Japan, we ended up getting multiple dishes because we're like, all right, we're kind of closing out our night. But what we ended up going with is the taco vampiro, which is barbacoa beef and a corn tortilla with crispy grilled Monterey Jack cheese, salsa ranchera, and esquites on the side there, which is like street corn. This is new, gluten and wheat friendly for $8. What do you think, Rhonda? Because you had more qualms with this one than I did.
I just felt like it was missing something, and maybe like some type
But
of.
you couldn't put your finger on
Well,
it, right?
I said maybe like a cilantro,
Sour cream,
something
or
because
like a crema fresca type thing.
something
Yeah.
because the cheese, there was cheese, but it was on the outside of the taco, which Jeremy's favorite part. The barbacoa beef was fantastic. Corn tortilla was very good as well. But that was it. I just feel like it was missing. So kind of when you took like a bite of that and then you took a bite of the street corn, basically. I mean, then it was really kind of good. But yeah, I mean, I love cilantro with any type of Mexican.
Mhm. It could have definitely used cilantro.
I feel like if it would have maybe even just had cilantro, it would have just knocked it up a notch, or even an avocado mousse or crema
Ooh.
Mexican on
Ooh,
it,
yeah.
or even like maybe just cilantro and queso fresco.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking, well, we already have the cheese, so again, I don't know what it needed, but I felt like it needed something.
Yeah, I get you, and I think that it could have elevated it, but I did love it as is. I will say, okay, picture your normal size of a street corn tortilla, right? And then pretend that tortilla has a baby.
Okay.
And that was the size of it. It was very, very small.
Yeah, it was.
This was not in really the shareable, portion size. So
Right.
for $8, I'm like, okay. I think this could have been marked at maybe a $5 dish.
I agree. It was very tiny.
The beef was outstanding.
Yeah.
Super tender, perfectly cooked. I thought the esquites were wonderful. It's basically what you would get over right down the street there at Chosa de Margarita.
Yeah.
You can get a side of esquites there. Very, very good. I thought that the salsa was very, very good. The salsa ranchera. When I will make myself at home a quesadilla in a pan, I always accidentally get a handful of cheese and throw it right
accidentally.
in the pan. And I let it cook and I let it get crispy and I let it burn a little bit. And that's what this was on the outside of the tortilla. While the tortilla was still actually kind of soft, I thought it was a wonderful combination of flavors, textures, and everything. I do agree dash of cilantro, and maybe a sour cream or a crema fresca or something like that would have set it off. But I think it's good as is, and I would totally recommend it. La Isla Fresca. We did 2 different dishes from here. We did the arepa topped with shrimp, crushed avocado ají, and tomato sauce. This is gluten and wheat friendly for $6.75, as well as the arepa topped with chorizo, which is new this year, for $6.25. They have the coconut tres leches here, which is a vanilla cake soaked in oat milk, almond milk, and coconut milk with toasted coconut. It is new. It is plant-based. It's part of the Garden Graze. They were out of it.
Oh, that's
Remember?
right.
But they
and
still gave us
a
our stamp because we're like, hey, we're trying to do the Garden Graze. And they were like, no worries. You're still ordering something. Let's stamp you.
That's right.
What did you think of the arepas?
I think we like the avocado one better, correct? And shrimp.
We, as in you and Kiki.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Correct.
You like the
I
chorizo
like the chorizo
better.
one
Okay.
better myself.
Well, good. Then we can talk about this.
But they were both wonderful.
They were. Eating the arepa by itself was fine.
It was very dense.
It was dry.
Yeah.
This poor festival. But you know what? We were day 2. So I am super excited to go back. And like we have talked about before, there has been, some off days and there's some great days. So with that being said, it was a little dense. It was a little dry. But when you ate the entire thing, the shrimp and crushed avocado and the tomato sauce together, it was really good. And like Jeremy said, very refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and again, if you ate this arepa by itself, it would just be a little dense and dry. But the fact that you have these wonderful toppings on it, they all combine very well. And it had a really good pop of that corn masa flavor that you want in an arepa. I thought the chorizo was, oh my god. First of all, it was so plentiful.
Oh, yeah.
There was so much chorizo.
It was good.
Even if you go, and it was so flavorful. If you go to your shrimp one, 3 bigger than Boathouse shrimp. Maybe that's a shirt. Bigger than Boathouse shrimp. It's just going to be the shirt. And they were perfectly cooked. So refreshing. The avocado, the tomato, everything. Yep. I thought these were outstanding. Next time I would totally get the arepa top with just melted queso fresco.
That's what I was actually going to say earlier. They do have one that is just with melted queso fresco, which I think would be fantastic. Because just cheese and that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And again, I completely forgive the arepa portion because of how good the toppings make it. And I'm not worried about the density because it still packed that punch of corn flavor. Let's move over to China and Lotus House, where, first of all, their house-made cheesy crab wontons for $7.75.
They're always amazing.
They're outstanding. Yep. They're what you're getting from your local Chinese restaurant. Yeah. And I love them.
I think they're a
little elevated. Yeah, a little bit better. Okay. Yeah. But what we did get is the new spicy mala chicken skewer for $6.75. And then I went and got the Kung Fu Punch because it's one of the best names. Vodka, triple sec, mango, orange juice, and soda water for $13. Rhonda, how was the spicy mala chicken skewer?
Fantastic.
It was really,
this was
really
so good. Yeah. It had little green onions chopped on top. Oh, the green onions and the spicy mala chicken, because it was just spicy mala and chicken. All of it together was fantastic. Yeah. I would have loved to have almost had one of these skewers by myself.
Yeah, it's a single skewer.
Yep.
It is on a small wood skewer. It is thigh meat. So it is that super thigh. It's tender, dark meat. It's dark meat.
What'd you say?
It's chicken thigh meat.
I thought you said thigh. I was like, what is that?
What? No, it is tender chicken thigh meat as opposed to white meat, chicken breast type thing.
Okay.
And it is so perfectly cooked and tender. And this sauce is delicious. I was explaining it to Kaylin. I'm like,
do you think you said she would like that? Right?
Yeah, because it's not teriyaki, but it still has a sweetness to it. But then you get the savory chicken and you get the scallions and that fresh pop of flavor from those little teeny green onion scallions.
Yes,
highly, highly recommend. Kung Fu Punch.
Did you like it?
Absolutely delicious. I don't associate China with it. I actually think this Kung Fu Punch, based on flavor, would be something at like La Isla Fresca.
Okay.
Or over at Banana Cabana, Caribbean Beach. Like, it is so super citrusy, but light and refreshing.
Oh,
The
yeah, that's
mango
right. I do
really
remember
pops.
tasting it. Yeah, it was.
It's absolutely delicious, and I would
Again,
recommend it.
Refreshing.
Yeah, I just feel like it fits maybe somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I'll take it here
Yeah.
as well. Let's move over to America. Magnolia
Yes.
Terrace. Rhonda, what did we get here? We survived. We recommend.
So yeah, so they have again the seafood boil, which we did get before, which was so good.
Crawfish,
Fantastic. Yep.
shrimp, andouille sausage.
Yep.
This is a very New Orleans menu.
Yeah, and I wonder, like some of this, I wonder if it really tastes like the real New Orleans.
The real New Orleans?
Yeah.
We should try that one day.
So they have also a spicy chicken gumbo, which is new with andouille sausage and Ben's original long grain and wild rice. We did not get that. What they do have that it doesn't say new, but I've never seen it.
I do not remember this from years past.
It grilled oysters with Cajun butter for $7.50. Okay, so I was like, grilled? Yes, I will only eat oysters if they are cooked. Because of my daddy a long time ago ate raw, and so I just do not want to play with it. So with all that being said, I was a little nervous because it was warm, but we went over and we had to stand by the plants basically because they were not only in shade because of the way the trees and coverage and umbrellas they had, but you visibly saw all the oysters on ice.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ordered it, they pulled them out, shucked them, put them on the grill. And then you get 3 of these. And then they put the Cajun butter and stuff in it. And with a little Tabasco, cute.
So adorable. This
Tiny little
spoons.
Yeah. Super good. Now, Jeremy is a texture guy, so he can eat just 1 or 2 oysters depending when we eat them and stuff. Or he can eat multiple if they're smaller.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for him, fortunately for me, we got 2 big ones out of the 3. So he, of course, ate the first one, which, what was your thoughts on that?
It was the perfect size oyster. Like it's on the small, like I like an oyster that is about a size of a quarter.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's going to have like half inch thickness. That's just enough for me because I don't have to technically chew it.
Okay.
Because it is the booger of the sea.
Okay.
And so I love the flavor. I love the freshness. I love the toppings of oysters. Again, the texture sometimes throws me off. This was absolutely perfect. And I appreciate so much them preparing these right in front of you to show you how fresh these are.
Yep.
I would like to see, and I didn't notice, maybe a sign saying where they're from.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did
maybe
say
they're
that.
flying in on a daily basis. I don't know, but that's okay. That's like an oyster house thing. But I loved this. You ate the one other really big one.
Yeah,
and then for the third one, you basically took a bite of half of it,
and then gave it.
And you gave me the second half, and that was a little chewy. That was a little big. That was a little hard to swallow.
I tried to make sure.
Once I start chewing, I can't just swallow it. So I'm there just like trying to chew it, and you're laughing.
I'm like,
at me.
swallow.
I gotta get it down, man. I got to get it down.
I'm like, just swallow.
And it was just hard, but I loved the flavors. I continually say how impressed I am by the way that Disney festivals do the seafood, and I think they continue to knock it out of the park here.
I agree.
So I would recommend these, and we posted them. We had a lot of people like, how are they prepared?
And I would I would still like, I guess when you go, and I told Jeremy, I said, if they smell or if they are not, I will say, nope, I'm done.
We had to do that with the lobster roll that one time.
We did.
That it did not smell right, and we went back and we're like,
no, I took a bite.
Yeah,
and
you
I
took
was
a bite.
like,
That's right.
I spit it out.
Nah.
I was like, this doesn't taste right at all. Yep. So I will say, the hotter we get in Florida, to maybe before you order, go look.
Yeah.
And make sure that there is tons of ice on it.
Yeah, same process.
Because you do get hotter in Florida. And if for some reason, they didn't have enough ice to put on or something, I'd be a little nervous on that one. So, and you can see it. It's out in the open. So
what's the deal? You're only supposed to eat oysters in months
that end in Y.
Yeah, but that's only May. So that doesn't
July.
Oh yeah, July, May. But then why would you skip like June?
I don't know.
What's wrong with June?
I don't know if it's Y either. I'd really literally have to look it up.
Northern Bloom in Canada. We did not stop here, but I can tell you their seared scallops with French green beans, butter potatoes, brown butter vinaigrette, and applewood smoked bacon is delicious every single year.
So is the
their
beef tenderloin tips with mushroom bolognese sauce. Fantastic.
We will go back and get those.
Mm-hmm.
Pineapple Promenade. We got to get this at some point.
We did last year.
Oh, we did last year?
Yep.
The spicy hot dog with pineapple chutney and plantain chips for $8. We did.
It.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was crazy because we hadn't had one of these, and yeah, we did. I remember doing that.
All right. You want to move on to the next one, Rhonda? Because we got.
Oh, come on. This has been the best one yet.
All right.
We went to Primavera Kitchen in Italy, and we got the ravioli.
For you guys.
Which is new. It is sweet sausage ravioli with sweet corn, spring vegetables, and cream sauce. Oh, I don't
For how much?
remember all that. Oh,
Yeah,
$13.
$13 for 4 pieces of ravioli.
Were there 4? I thought you counted.
Yeah, 4.
There was only 4.
The most
I
expensive
thought there was
dish.
more than that. There was
4.
like 6.
4.
Are you sure?
1,000,000,000%
Okay.
sure. There were 4 Costco raviolis for $13.
Okay. They were filled fuller, we felt like this time. And the cream sauce was very good. We thought this was the best one that we have spent the money on. Okay, yes, still wasn't worth $13, but it was the better one out of the festivals.
Agreed. It was the better one out of all the festivals that we've had, but this is still a travesty. And I think Italy needs to check themselves.
Okay.
Before they wreck themselves.
Okay.
Because there's no reason to charge $13 for this when every other menu item barely breaks $8. Why are you charging $13? They also have arancini, which we've had in the past, for $14.
And the raspberry donut or the cream-filled Italian donuts with raspberry sauce and powdered sugar for $12.
Where do you get off, Italy? I know you guys
Italy. They got Marco.
Yeah, I know you have Marco, but
That's
then he
what it
should be
is.
serving it. And I will pay
True.
the $13 for the ravioli.
True.
And he can say, would you like the ravioli? That was a horrible Marco impersonation, by the way. You can go to the refreshment port and you can get a house-made Italian sausage and peppers poutine. This is plant-based one for $7.50. I do want to try this next time. We did not do it.
I want to try their lavender martini.
That sounds good. What's in that there?
Vodka with lavender and lemon for $11.
That's new this year.
I love lavender.
All right.
And
We will add that
lemon.
to the list.
We are getting that next time.
Tangerine Cafe, which is doing flavors of the Medina. They have a lot of grilled kebabs or kebab, depending on how you pronounce it. We did not do this trip, but we will go back and do the lamb kefta for sure. We have done it in the past. We love it.
Very good.
We've done the chicken. We love it. And we've actually done their Mediterranean flatbread in the
it's new.
past. It's new this year based on the toppings, but we've done one in the past festival that we've really, really enjoyed. Let's go on to Trowel and Trellis, hosted by Impossible Foods. This is going to be a completely plant-based food booth. Garden Graze includes the grilled baby vegetables with hummus cream and red pepper coulis. This is $4.75. Last year, we loved the boneless Impossible Korean short rib with
did.
cilantro lime rice, danmuji slaw, and kimchi mayonnaise for $6.75.
Yes.
Again, this year we got the grilled baby vegetables with the hummus cream. What did you think?
Because of the Garden Graze.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell your thoughts first? Because I enjoyed it.
Well, this was another vomit-looking dish.
Oh, God.
This looked like grilled vegetables on a plate of vomit.
You like hummus.
It was
Why
okay.
are you like
I don't know, man. This one,
man.
You know, the vegetables were actually cooked very, very well. I like vegetables cooked where they still have a little bit of bite to them or a little bit of a snap. This was very well done with zucchini, a very smoky eggplant.
Yeah, that was cool.
A carrot. There was like a pearl onion.
wasn't a pearl onion. It was a little
Well, it was
tiny
a pearl red
onion. It
I only
wasn't
say pearl because of the size.
Okay. Well, I hate pearl
No,
onions.
I actually thought this was good. I didn't feel that the combination of cooked vegetables and hummus was something I liked. If I'm going to eat a good hummus, as I like to pronounce it, I want a uncooked crispy vegetable. I want a uncooked carrot, celery,
that makes sense. Okay.
zucchini, as opposed to a cooked, slightly tender one.
Okay.
It did have a tomato like sauce that was on the side that I thought was very flavorful. I think this is an outstanding plant-based vegetarian dish. Again, just the me being a texture guy, I prefer very crisp vegetables with a hummus.
I enjoyed it very much. I thought the hummus was very good by itself. I think the grilled vegetables were very good because they weren't cooked where they were too soft.
Yeah.
They did have more of a snap to it. The eggplant was the softest, but oh my goodness, that smoky taste with the hummus, I thought it was fantastic.
Yes.
Why are you laughing at me?
Nobody wants a soft eggplant.
Okay.
Finally, which we will certainly try next time, are some of the wonderful coffees being offered by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Carts. We've a minty melon refresher. These are all tea based, and you can get all of these with alcohol if you would choose.
So this is not coffee like?
No, these are all tea based.
Huh.
Which is very appreciative for Flower and Garden. I think it's very on brand.
I agree.
For doing this. So you have a minty melon refresher at World Discovery near Mission Space. You have a strawberry fields refresher near Canada.
And all these are available with a strawberry lemongrass vodka or a watermelon basil vodka, which sounds very awesome.
That does sound good. That includes the Pink Paradise refresher at World Showcase near Disney Traders, as well as the Wild Berry Wonder refresher at the American Adventure. And that one you can actually get with a tropical rum if you choose. Finally, your funnel cake, strawberry cheesecake funnel cake, topped with strawberry ice cream, cheesecake crumbles, strawberry drizzle, and whipped cream. Oh my goodness, that one sounds good. Yeah,
it does. And we looked at it, or I knew actually what it was. And when we were passing the funnel cake, I was like, I think I want other dessert.
Yeah.
So we passed that one.
Where to close this out, Rhonda, where do you overall rank Flower and Garden? And again, let's go back, and I know we touched on this earlier. Let's go back and first touch on atmosphere. Where do you think the atmosphere fits within this one?
I love it. I love the beautiful flowers, and I personally like seeing the bees. Like, I know some people don't, and they had to take some things away.
Lots of butterflies.
Even
outside of the butterfly garden,
right?
Which is offered.
We meant to go on there. Yep. Again, this is all this stuff we're writing down, and we will do the next time we're there. This is one of my favorites because of the decor and everything.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to buy a topiary. They have what they call.
Did you want to get that one Mickey one that was a little tall? Why didn't we?
What was he? 3? He wasn't even 3. How many feet? Like 2?
I'd go 2.5. 2.5 feet. 24 to 32 inches tall in the plant.
Y'all. $550 for him.
For something that will die in our hands.
Oh, I don't even know if it would. I would hope he would grow completely green and be I don't know. But anyways,
at least if this rat dies, we're only out like $20.
Jeremy.
So, what? I'm just saying.
But I do. There was a plant that I wanted to get that was a carnivorous. You call it a carnivorous plant?
I want to get that next time.
It
will
eat
flies,
mosquitoes, just bugs that land in it, and I think it's
cat.
So cool. What?
I don't think it'll eat the cat.
So weird. I am very disappointed in the food, but again, most of the experience was good, which I'm super excited about, and the places that were bad, the scone, I don't think it could have.
That can't last.
A good day.
That can't last.
I don't think it'll have a good day.
They need to throw that in the lake.
But I think some of the other things could have a better day.
For sure.
So again, I'm a little sad on the food, some of the food, but God, some of this food was fantastic. So,
I'll go number 2, atmosphere. I think for me personally, Festival of the Arts is number 1 as far as atmosphere because I just love the art.
yeah,
I just love seeing the art and these incredibly talented artists. But yeah, this is number 2 as far as atmosphere. I think it falls number 4 as far as food goes. I just don't, and I think it's too bad. Like, I'll be honest, they almost, and I know why they don't. You need Flower and Garden during the springtime, but I think this festival would do better food-wise if it came off the heels of Festival of the Holidays.
probably.
You know what I mean? Because Festival of the Arts is so freaking good.
Well, and they
food-wise.
take such good time
Right.
and presentation and all the above. So.
Another thing to say, as we have mentioned in the past, please be patient. Please be nice to cast members.
Yeah.
We had really good luck with lines. We had good luck with preparation.
Yep. But
there are some areas where there might only be one cast member working a register to take your order. Others, there are 2. We were in Mexico at the Jardín de Fiestas, I think it is called. And I heard people behind us like constantly like, really? There's one person? There's one? That's it? Why is this taking so long? And I want to turn around and be like, look, man, just be patient. There is still some staffing issues, some shortages based on people calling out sick, things like that. So please just be patient with all those types of things.
Yes, please.
You know what it was though, Rhonda? I called you Ronnie. It was sunny.
Yeah.
It was sunny when we were there.
Oh, it was very sunny.
You know what you should get? You should look at getting a good, light, reliable pair of sunglasses. You can use them not only in Disney, but basically at home, anywhere that it's sunny, right?
Yeah.
So we really, really do love Blender's eyewear. Whether we're in the parks, we're at the pool, or just running daily errands, around Florida and stuff like that. And if you go to msmfriends.com, you can order now and save 15% off of that order. You're out on the internet. We would love if you subscribe. You'll get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And as long as you're doing that, you might as well leave us a wonderful rating and review.
Because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.